Hey, welcome to another episode of GeekOutdoors.com. And on some recent news this week in the tech hemisphere, Facebook is going to be adding, most likely soon, an end-to-end encryption for their Messenger app. Now, if you remember about last year, Facebook separated their Facebook app and their Messenger app, so it's had a separate messaging app. And just recently, another one of Facebook's own properties, the WhatsApp app, it just got end-to-end encryption. So what that means is only the sender and the receiver can decode the actual messages. So anything in between that transmission, it is completely encrypted. And it seems like this is a route that a lot of companies are going to. If I remember correctly, even Apple's iMessages, they are encrypted. Viber, it's another communication tool that's encrypted. And this is something that it makes a lot of sense. I mean, it is good, I think. It's definitely, as more and more people are more cognizant of their privacy and they're sharing more things online. But at the same time, when it gets down to it, this makes business sense. Because at the end of the day, if these things that are being done is going to help them, out compete their competitors, which also have a lot invested into it, then they're going to do that. Like for example, by Facebook doing this to Messenger, Google's newest messaging apps, Google Allo and their video app, the Duo, they haven't been released yet, but this is like basically in preparation of that, because if they provide these quote unquote security features of encryption, that is another selling point. And if they could do it earlier with as many people that are on Facebook, then that's a good competitive advantage for them before Allo and Duo even gets released. And so any type of security, especially encryption, that gives everybody a warm, fuzzy feeling. However, me being in technology before and being in technology now, and just thinking about it from a business sense, all of these companies have a vested interest in doing this. They're not doing it just out of the goodness of their heart, and that's not to say that companies are bad or whatever, but they have to think about it strategically. Why are they doing this? And the whole thing about it is just the whole sense of security. However, we are constantly sharing our information or giving our information freely. And that doesn't matter if you're using quote unquote free software application and services like Google services or Facebook or any of Apple services, but it also goes to services that you quote unquote pay for, such as Windows 10, which gets so much information on you. As a matter of fact, every single one of these companies collect information. Every one of them. There's not a single company that does not collect information and data, because without that data, you are not able to better market and better figure out what the consumers want. So data has always been important. It's important in every single category, and it doesn't matter if it's technology or not. Now, if you remember on the latest Google I/O, I did a little Google I/O recap on this. Allo and Duo was one of the things that was touted really, really heavily. And one of the things now that in light of the whole messenger encryption thing, and even before that, that Google was going to add encryption here, and it's going to be an opt-in feature just like the Facebook Messenger encryption. So what that means is you have to choose to have the encryption on instead of just it being on by default. But this is it is a nice thing to have, but once again I go back to the point that this is for business reasons. And there's nothing to say that in the future, or even we don't know how they actually do their encryptions underneath. There's nothing to say that they don't have ways to decode this data for themselves if they needed it. And one of the things that they were saying about the Facebook Messenger encryption is that because this is encrypted, it affects some of their AI, their intelligence, because that's one of the things that Allo does. It actually, Google's Allo, it actually remembers your news patterns and the people you message, and it guesses what the next action is going to be or what you're looking for or are talking about. And Facebook Messenger does the same thing, and so do all these other apps. So they're saying once they turn this encryption on, it might take some of those AI intelligence out. But we'll see how this really pans out. I still believe in the end, this is for all of intensive purposes. It's for business reasons. It's for market share. And, in the future, as we go along, as we share more information, whether we want to or not, I think the whole idea of privacy, it's gone. And the whole idea of security, I think it's really just a veil of security, because when it comes down to it, you really don't have any more security anymore with your personal information. I think those days are gone. And more or less now, it's more of like the more you share, the more information you give. In a lot of ways, sometimes that's safer because more and more people are aware of things, and unfortunately, so do all the bad people. So that's my thoughts on this Facebook Messenger encryption. What are your thoughts on this news, and what are your thoughts on just security in general? I mean, do you like sharing your information across the internet or through your devices? Do you like the fact that they're spying on you, or do you not like it, or whatever? If you're like don't care, I would like to hear that. And as always, you could also send me your questions through Snapchat as well. You can send it to Geek Outdoors, and we'll see you on another episode. Thanks for checking out this episode. And as always, if you like these videos, be sure to click on the subscribe button. And for full written content, audio content, and additional geek stuff, head over to geekoutdoors.com, and I'll see you outdoors on the very next episode.